What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Street Fighter Duel video. Alright guys, got something to discuss that's been on my mind, and it's I think a pretty big deal, to be honest with you, because I think a lot of folks are not looking at the game in the wrong way. They're looking at the game the right way, but the business model itself is kind of turning people off. And I want to kind of discuss something real quick. I noticed a lot of people, whenever a new unit comes out, obviously are very negative about the fact that the units are either Infernal, Master, Collab, or Legendary, right? Most of the time it's going to be completely pay to win. Now, I want to just throw this out there quickly. The goal behind the dev team is to make you, as a free-to-play player, take about 6 to 8 months to get a SSS Infernal Master unit. It's a long time. So consider 2 SSS Infernal Master units per year. Ideally, right? And then for the whales, clearly, you're meant to spend as much as you possibly can to fill the pockets of the devs. All right, that's a pretty... I think we're all on the same page on that, right? Now, my question to you is, and for myself personally, I was thinking about this quite a bit. Are any of these new units needed? Do they have an impact that is resounding and cannot be lived without? And the honest, clear answer to that is a big no. Because I can tell you now, from the point MH Ken dropped, who was very impactful, by the way, very impactful, to the time Vega dropped, and now Dante is about to drop. Could anybody have gotten up to 3640, for example, as a free-to-play without MH Ken? Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's a couple of reasons why. Okay, number one is the fact that the bare minimum units that are currently out in the game do everything that they're supposed to do to help you advance to stage 36 plus as a free-to-play. Okay, now I'm going to say 36 only because at 3640-ish, you start getting into 2 teams, then it becomes 3 teams, then 4 teams. And that's not the lack of units being useful. That's just most free-to-play players not having an account strong enough yet to tackle 2, 3, 4 team fights. And that's normal. The game has only been out for 2 months. Whales, on the other hand, as you know, have spent an arm and a leg to get to this point in the game. So some of them are like stage 4, almost at stage 40. Some folks are already at stage 40. Some people are already at 41. And are doing this essentially right now because there's really nothing to do except for log in for 5 minutes, get your dailies done, and just wait for the next unit to drop or next event to drop. And really, it doesn't. And we all know, as some, as a former whale, and I still communicate with many other active whales. The only thing they look forward to is a unit, but they know for a fact that these units don't bring anything else to their account that their current units won't do. So even if Dante is the best unit in the game, and, for example, can punish, Bison teams by using his EX move to push Bison to the back, has massive AoE, is, trigger, just like Ken, has the same combos, and a badass, which probably will be. And we're going to do a full MH Ken versus Dante review. I'm going to do Dante review in general. Does he really bring enough to the game for us to really need him? I don't think so. But herein lies the problem with gachas, right? And sorry, guys, I'm going to be doing this while we talk. Herein lies the problem with gachas. Gachas live and die by 2 things. By their content and by their unit release, right? And most people, even though they don't need the unit, still want the unit because it's part of the experience that we play. Okay, sorry, this is 2140 being done. I'm not even paying attention to it. And I understand why people are frustrated because, like, you play this game. Ooh, bonus. You play this game to enjoy using the units that you have been waiting for a long time. For example, we play the IP Street Fighter because we want to use the IP, our favorite characters in these IPs, right? So, for example, like you like Akuma, you've been waiting for Akuma. Akuma drops, and you can't get Akuma because it's too expensive. So it deters you from wanting to do the content, even if the content is good. Now, I will say this, in this game, content is released on a regular basis. Whether you like the content or not, as an individual, I have to give credit where credit is due. The shadow patching of content being introduced, the amount of content being dropped on this game often enough keeps the game fairly fresh. Now, have I been able to complete all the content on my free-to-play and on my pay-to-win with complete different units, complete different power levels? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are some situations, obviously, that are going to suck. For example, a clear one in the Path of Trials is where you need 4 Infernal or 4 Master units. Like, free-to-play aren't going to have that. Let's just be real. We're not going to have that. So we miss out on that. But that's built specifically to be for whales. And the only thing you get when you complete that is 600 gems. Realistically, not the end of the world, right? So I think if you can avoid the trap of wanting and needing to get these units when you don't require them, you can enjoy the game for what it is. It's actually an enjoyable game. It's a good team building, idle gacha game. But I think people are so... And again, this is just my opinion, guys. And I know a lot of you guys are going to probably hate on this opinion, but you don't need to have the newest, greatest character to go and advance in this game. And another beautiful thing about this game, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I think this is a very, very big thing that a lot of people don't talk about enough, is the Mercenary System. Right? You can see here, I don't use mercenaries on my free-to-play account, but the fact that there are abilities to use any Whales mercenary every week, and multiple of those, as a matter of fact, 3 of them, to help you advance in the game, and you can still feel that experience that you're missing out on that unit, I think is a huge thing. I think a lot of people don't give this part enough credit. Now, I'm not defending the game. I'm not defending the devs. I think the devs have done a horrible job when it comes down to the release of these units. But we all know this game is about making money. Let's be real. It's a business. It's about making money. We have to call a spade a spade. For if you're going to be complaining as a free-to-play that you're not getting what you want, it's like in real life. These games are built to be a real-life simulation. You come in here every day, you log in, you log into work. You log in, you do your dailies, you do the same thing at work, you do your dailies, you get your rewards, you move on. It's the same mundane thing every single day. But you still do it in real life, you'll still do it in the gacha. The difference here is you have a little bit of excitement. So let's say somebody in real life throws a birthday party for you. A new unit comes out. That's considered a birthday party. So, right? Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it doesn't, right? But the reality is, at the end of the day, it's a real life simulation. You work for a corporation, you work for a government, you work for wherever, you get paid, you do your everyday diligence, you log into the game, you do your dailies, you do your weeklies, you do your extra matches, you do your extra assignments. A new unit drops, you get excited, you don't get them. It's like real life. You don't get everything you want, right? And I said this yesterday to somebody. It's like, someone's like, well, yeah, I always want to get a new unit because it ruins the experience if I don't. And the way I look at it is this, guys, and I'm being straight with you guys, okay? Like, I don't have Akuma SSS. I have Vega SSS, but who cares? I don't have the new Chun-Li. I'm not going to get Dante most likely to SSS. I'm not spending a penny on him. I don't care. It's like saying when you have a brand new iPhone, do you need an iPhone 14? And when a new version comes out and you have the iPhone 14, do you need the 15? Do you need the 16? Are you those kind of people? If you are, then this is going to be a hard life for you because gachas prey on that kind of personality. Excuse my throat, guys. They want you guys to want the latest and greatest, but again, is the value really worth the money and time? Then that's all I'm getting at here, because I think with Dante dropping, a lot of folks are going to be upset again. Rightfully so, because they won't get the unit they want. But at the same time, he's not going to be a necessity. I promise you guys this. He will not be a necessity. He'll be a nice to have. I don't think at this point any unit coming out is a necessity, because every base unit in this game does what you need it to do. Let me explain that even further. Sea Viper, best assassin in the game, can take out back rows. You don't need anybody else that can take out back rows. You have Guy as well as a backup. Don't need it, right? You have Gal, an incredible AoE. First to unit AoE. You don't need anybody else to do what he does, because it doesn't matter. Bison, Revival, can be used as an A unit very far into the game. Anyone comes out with the similar skills, who cares? You have Bison to do it for you, right? Zangief as tank, E Honda as tank, Abel as tank, Emryu as DPS. You've got what you need in this game. Bizang is the only exception, I would say. It'd be nice to have another interrupt AoE unit like Bizang for a second, third, or fourth team. Be kind of cool. Gen is there already as an interrupt for a second team, but he's not quite like Bizang. He's the only unique unit, I would say. It'd be nice to have a replacement for him. Now, if Dante replaces that niche, then obviously You know, you don't really need to get them up higher because having just the interrupt alone is worth it. You don't need an SSS Dante to interrupt. You just need an A Dante to interrupt, right? So again, some of you guys are gonna be like, you're on copium, and you know what? I think I've played over 100 plus gachas in my life, and I used to be one of those people that needed every new unit, not because I needed it, but I wanted it, and that word "want" is key, right? And I understand a lot of you are frustrated with how this game has been releasing Inferno Master legendary units back to back to back to back, and you have every right to be upset about that, because you want to use your actual arcade coins and faction coins for units that are non-Inferno and non-Master, because you want to be able to pull some of these new units, and I get that. That's totally a viable reason to be upset. I guess my whole point is, do we need new units to be successful in this game? Absolutely not. So when does it become about the units and the content, and where's that fine balance? I find this game is imbalanced in that regard. You give us amazing units that are base units that you can finish the entire game with, quote unquote, but you also drop all brand new units that have incredible IP and star appeal, and almost nobody can get it except for people who are willing to spend it. Even they know it's not sustainable. So for me personally, guys, I'm okay with not getting the newest unit at SSS, because for advancement purposes, the base units do everything we need them to do. Anyways, I just wanted to put my thoughts out there. I know a lot of you guys won't agree with this. And again, I'm not defending the devs, okay? I think they're doing a horrible job with release management and how they're releasing these units so quickly and without much thought for the community. But more from our perspective, I know a lot of people have quit the game because they can't get a unit, but they've barely given the content an actual go with the base units that are there. And I'm being frank with you guys when I say this. If I go back, this is my free-to-play account, right? This is my complete free-to-play account. Let me just go back for a second. Right? It's almost been 30 days that I've had this account. And in 30 days, I've been able to accumulate these units up to SSS, SSS plus 2, almost SSS, and almost SSS, right? So in 30 days, I was able to get 5 units. That's 2 teams starting of that's 1 team starting of a second team now that I'm able to use when I get to 36. And it hasn't been deterring me from wanting to play the game. So remember, the Mercenary System is in place for you free to play to try out some new units from your friends. Just ask. Make some friends, ask them to use it, and maybe you'll get that full experience you're looking for. It's a lease. At the end of the day, your characters are leases. You don't own them. Even if you feel like you got this character to SSS and you're like, yeah, I got this character, I'm so excited. Well, fuck, and whenever this game shuts down, it goes back to the owner. You don't have this forever. So just please be smart about who you get, how much you spend, what you get, and don't worry so much about the new characters. It's just about enjoying the game for what it is. Anyways, guys, this is Payne. I don't know. I just want to talk about this because I hear so many people complaining about the new characters and not being able to get them. And again, I think it's a very valid point, but I think there's more to this game than just character drops. And obviously, if you keep going for the new characters and you're spending money on them, you're falling for the trap that the devs are setting for you, and you're not enjoying the game for what you should enjoy it for, and that is the content itself. All right, guys, enough ranting. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.